Hi everybody and welcome back. We are going to be getting into the new moon and Sagittarius reading. Now, we are like about to approach this new moon. It's 12:21 right now. Eastern Standard Time, my time. And this new moon is happening at 1:21 a.m. Now, it's been supposed to get these readings, but y'all, like, it's so funny. It's just been so, hello, beautiful souls. Hello. It's just been so much going on, like back to back to back. And homegirl needed a nap. And it's so funny because as a Capricorn sun, Cappies, this energy is happening in your 12th house. So needing a nap was just in divine alignment so that I can get these readings out to y'all. But nonetheless, we are here. Peace, wholeness, reflections. Welcome. Don't forget to share the live. You share the live, you share the love, you share the wisdom. And so I'm just going to go into a brief general. I'm not going to do like I usually do, like 45 minutes channeling or longer for this. Spirit kept it very simple. And I love that simplicity is bliss. And sometimes less is more. So, ma'am, you need to get your butt down. Thank you. So that might be a message for some of you, right? Where less is more. Sometimes you think you have to go above and beyond and do too much. And you may not need to do all of that to be successful. And this moon is very much in alignment with success and how to reach your successes. So this new moon is happening at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. And this 9 degrees speaks of that rebirth. It speaks on soul searching, right? Philosophy. It's like really heightened sense of philosophy and spirituality energy, like really diving deep into your belief systems and what that may look like for you. The 9 is also connected to the feminine energies. It's also connected to birthing that new experience, right? And then we have the moon making a square to Saturn, which is going to be a little bit tough for some of you. And then it's going to be opposing Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the natural ruler of Sagittarius. Jupiter is currently in the sign of its detriment in Gemini, and it's in retrograde. And then we have Mercury in the sign of Jupiter, in which the moon is going to be doing a conjunction to Mercury, and Mercury is in the sign, obviously it's conjoined Mercury, so it's in the sign of Sagittarius, but Mercury's also in retrograde. So what does this mean with all these squares and retrogrades going on? And is this opposition like, oh, it's the end of the world? Like, that's not really what this one is saying, y'all. What I will say is be sure to do some journaling at this time, because this new moon, while energies are going to be moving, you're going to be seeing the results within the next like couple days, couple weeks. The fullness of this new moon, and any new moon, you always want to give it 6 months. And the reason for that is because that is when the moon of Sagittarius itself will be in its complete phase, right? Within 6 months. So from new moon to full moon cycle, right? And so let's get into it. So when I mentioned the time, I did mention this moon is happening at 1:21 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. You're going to want to convert that time to your time zone. I do recommend that regardless of what your zodiac sign is, that everyone listen to Jupiter, listen to Sagittarius, because this energy is super amplified, and it is the new moon in Sagittarius. So you're going to want to listen to that. Okay. This new moon, right? with it squaring Saturn, for anyone who, and all these retrogrades, not just the square to Saturn, but this is just an amplification of that. If you've been feeling low, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things aren't working out for you, these could be either spiritual tests and lessons that are meant for you to see how much do you really want to be successful. Do you really want what you say it is that you want? It's challenging you to be more optimistic with pessimistic thoughts. Are you clingy to negative vibes, bad vibes? I don't want to say negative vibes, but like bad vibes. Are you clingy to woe is me victim mentality? Are you clingy to nothing is working out for me, so this may not be for me, right? These are opportunities, if you will, that are coming up to the forefront to realign you to your soul's purpose. And for every next level, there's the next devil, so to speak, right? And so for some of you with this moon squaring Saturn, this is like asking you to stand 10 toes down on your business. Stand 10 toes down on what it is that you truly desire for yourself in your life. And don't let the ways of the world have such a hold on you that you don't have faith and trust in yourself, in your higher self, in your divinities, in the most high, most divine, benevolent forces, God, the universe. This is an opportunity for you to make sure that you are setting healthy boundaries. This is an opportunity for you to close out those contracts that's not serving you, to really evaluate what that may have been looking for you, what may have been that is no longer working out for you, what changes need to be made in that space for longevity. Right? This energy, the moon squaring Saturn, it can bring a lot of psychological hardships is kind of the way that it's coming through for me, as far as the channel is concerned, right? Psychological hardships in a sense where you may have massive mood swings. You may be feeling conflicted, depressed, grieving, a strong grievance through these transitions. It may be hard for you to be optimistic. It may feel challenging. And so that's what the challenge is with the moon representing the mind, the moon representing the mother, and Saturn also represents father energy. And so this could also be like having to heal mother wounds or father wounds. Okay, and with the new moon in opposition to Jupiter, and Jupiter in its detriment, Jupiter in retrograde, this is not like, oh my gosh, woe is me, this is not going to work out. This is actually allowing you, you think of Sagittarius and how the bow and arrow is to hit the mark, right? And with the moon opposition to Jupiter, it's allowing you the opportunity to just focus, like narrow your focus so that you are solely aiming to your target to be successful. What that means with the moon squaring Saturn and opposing Jupiter is don't feed the distractions. Okay? There's a lot of opportunities and possibilities for success here. And the moon opposite Jupiter wants you to see that. But if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things aren't moving, are you weighing all your options out? Are you looking at the bigger picture? Are you may be in alignment to go in the right, you may be on the right path, going to the right place, but are you trying to take parts of you that can no longer resonate with that do not resonate with that frequency, or can no longer go with you? You know, there may be certain things that you may have to detach from and let go, so that it's not weighing you down, or it's not distorting your vision. And you know, Saturn is in the sign of Pisces. So Saturn in the sign of Pisces is coming to bring a lot of realization in this space. So you really want to keep your eye on the prize. Focus on that true divine love. Focus on the energies that are bringing you reciprocation, the energies that are approaching your frequency with honor, with respect, with integrity, that is going to represent longevity in your life. These are the energies that you want to focus your energy to. You want to exchange with these energies, right? The square to Saturn and Pisces, again, Pisces is known for like the addictions, the self-sabotage, the breaking down of oneself in its shadow side, right? But it's also the subconscious mind, where there's so much memory, information, power, creation, like so many possibilities, realms, access to realms and dimensions. And with that 9 degrees, you're really getting the opportunity to allow yourself that rebirth into your highest timeline. That's going to bring you that longevity, right? That's going to bring you that stability. And it's going to clear out like karmic debt, if you will, because Sagittarius energy is about expansion. So it's allowing the breakdowns, right? Whether it's a mental breakdown, an emotional breakdown, or a detachment from a relationship, whatever that may look like for you, for the breakthroughs to occur. So if you are, there's a lot of people that's having a lot of like car issues. We mentioned Mercury also being in retrograde, and this moon is conjoining Mercury. So if you find yourself, having certain like car issues, this can be that perhaps there's a need for more solidarity, healing, maybe a little bit of like slowing down if you're moving too fast on your path. In some instances, and for some of y'all, it's this shit is breaking down because you're not going in the right direction. And some of this shit is breaking down because you need to slow down. Not that you're not going on the right direction, but there's something that you may need to pay more attention to for you to be at your optimum successful experience of this timeline, right? Of where it is that you are going, for the opportunities to come rushing in for you, essentially allowing you to be a magnet for that which is in alignment with your highest timeline, right? So take these things into consideration of what is coming into your life that seems fulfilling and nourishing to your soul, what is complementary to your life and your aspirations and your goals, what is bringing you clarity to be successful in hitting your mark. That's what this new moon is. This new moon is saying the goals that you are focusing on during this new moon, pay attention from now to 6 months from now, how successful you become on that path. Whether you meet the goal right away or if it takes its time, because remember, you have Saturn and you have Jupiter and Mercury both in retrograde in that space. So a couple weeks before, I had blood from my nose. I'm not understanding your comment. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I'm gonna recommend that, you know, you take the time to maybe at least write down 3 goals that you have for yourself, right? Yes, we are getting into the ending of 2024 calendar year. And so it's not necessarily like January 1st and everything like that. But what goals would you like to focus on for 2025, right? From now to then, if that's something, what it is that you would like to expand in your life, what it is that you would like to learn, right? The opposition, the moon representing your emotions, representing the mother, representing the mind as well. And the moon in Sagittarius, this is a fiery, active energy, but it's also the new moon, so it's full with potential. It has not met its peak just yet, and so it can go any which way. It's literally birthing the seeds of thoughts, of opportunity, of love, if you will. So what are your love languages, and how do you want to focus that? You know, are you connecting with healthy, meaningful connections, right? Are your relationships that of, like I mentioned earlier, like divine reciprocation and respect and integrity? Are you having fair, even exchange with your peers, with your loved ones? Are you taking time to devote your energy to yourself, to your divinities? Are you giving gratitude for all that it is that you already have? And are you willing to share what it is that you have with others as well? And with the square to Saturn, it's not being in fear mode with like lack mentality, but being in a space of optimism. But also, again, like, you know, if you don't have those healthy boundaries in place, your lesson may need to be telling somebody no and not being afraid to say no, right? Having that healthy boundary and say, you know, I've been oversharing with you, overextending myself with you, and this is just depleting and draining, and it's not reciprocating a fair exchange in my life, no matter how unconditional, loving, patient, and tolerant I am. You know, I'm gonna have to step back until you meet me with that, or if you don't meet me at all, that's okay, right? And like let it go and cut those cords, right? And so that's part of like some of the lessons that some of us are being called right now, especially for the empaths out there. All right. And so taking that into consideration when it comes down to business, are you working in the space that is in your true heart's desire? Is there something in the realms of your career that you would like to expand on, that you would like to learn and grow from? Is there something new that's coming into your life that's like, it's an experience you never experienced before? And that could be like, it's your divine timing. Like Saturn is connected to the fates, right? It's connected to your timelines. It's connected to your soul's contracts, right? And so this could be that, you know, Jupiter is coming to align with Saturn in a way that is like, yeah, I'm opposite the moon, because they need to slow down and see this. Like, can you see what's right in front of you? Can you see the God in me as I see the God in you? Are you still searching for what God looks like? And have you gone within? Right? For some of you, this is a major call to go within, right? To be in retrospection, to be in reintegration, to be into rejuvenation and reevaluation of your life's story, right? And how you can rewrite this story. So if you find yourself at a pause and you're seeing a lot of people talking about their successes and just moving forward, don't feel discouraged. This is to encourage you to stay focused on the task at hand, to stay focused on what your soul's mission is. What is the mission? What is the plan? What is the goal? And if you don't have a plan, this may be an opportunity for you to sit down and write a plan. Or sometimes, we're scared to take risks because we don't have a plan. And sometimes, the message is just to have to take the leap of faith despite not knowing the how. As long as you know the why, you're going to get to where you need to get to, and you may not have to always focus on how. You just have to focus on the why. And so that is the message, right? So that's all I was really getting, is really hitting your mark, focusing. So what you could do for this new moon is write down 3 goals that you would like to focus on. Write down not just the 3 goals, but 3 things that you would like to expand on, grow into, right? What it is that you are magnetically attracting into your life. Hi, Raymel, love you. And allowing yourself to be in a space where you are breathing into your divinity as if it's already yours. If you want to change your image, well, then dress into the part in which is you. That's another version of you that you are looking to tap into. If you are having issues with communication or traveling, this is an opportunity for you to practice patience and compassion with yourself as well, so that the pessimistic thoughts doesn't shoot you down and belittle you and call you all these types of names, like you're not stupid, you're not dumb. You just had a moment of misunderstanding or misinterpreting something, not being able to have the ability to fully comprehend things. So this is your opportunity to ask questions. Ask questions. Don't just agree to something because you don't know what you're agreeing to, you don't understand, or you think it's the right thing that you're supposed to do. This is to allow yourself to challenge your thought forms, your thought processes, okay? And again, with the moon conjuncting Mercury, a lot of people are going to be feeling the fast pace. I'm sorry, not the fast pace. They're going to be feeling the movement, but it may not be fast paced for most of you. For some of you, it's making sure you're double checking your contracts. For some of you, this is old opportunities coming back into the forefront that you thought was long gone. Like you thought this was no longer for you, or that this wasn't for you, or, there may have been a delay because maybe who, what, where, when, and whys wasn't in alignment with that at the time, and you released those situations, those peoples, the beings, the entities, whatever it may be, the energies. You release the energies of densities that's not in alignment with that light code, with that frequency, with that timeline. You released the energies that's not serving that energy of success for you in alignment with that goal. So now you're able to have that experience. It was never a no for you. It was a not right now because there were things that you needed to clear. So if you find yourself having those experiences, and I'm not necessarily even talking about like exes, I'm talking about opportunities here, okay? If you're seeing that there are opportunities coming in, now for some of you, this may be some reconciliations with exes, because Saturn is in the mix, I would highly encourage you all to do some reevaluation on that before just like letting exes in or old friendships back in. Is this a friendship that is divinely aligned with you? Is this serving? Was there, fair reciprocation and nurturance and love in this energy? Because if so, maybe there was some stubbornness and ego and all these things that was getting in the way of the friendship before, and that's why there were some form of separation, whereas now it's in a space is back in alignment to reconcile and harmonize, right? And for some of you, this is like just these people coming back in to challenge if you learned your lesson. Again, the moon is squaring Saturn. Did you learn your lesson? Is, are you able to identify the purpose of this entity, of this person, of this being? What faculty are they symbolizing in the realms of the mind, right? What are they a catalyst for? Like, what lessons do they serve? And if it's something about like forgiveness or thing, like it may not necessarily be that this is for you to bring this person back, but for you to bring the awareness to the forefront of any solutions that may be needed, or just again having the awareness of like, oh, I needed that lesson from that person, and you served your purpose, and I thank you for serving your purpose, and I set you free. I don't have to stay in this cycle anymore, right? And so being able to identify that, and the new moon in Sagittarius conjoined Mercury gives you that opportunity with a clear mindset, so that way you could actually break through that which is keeping you stuck in a frame that requires you to actually like see from a bigger spectrum. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense, y'all. All right, we're going to get into it. So Aries, we're going to start with you. If you could just give me a moment here, I'm going to take a sip. Y'all, I'm doing this caffeine at this time because I think we are actually at the new moon time, but because it was necessary for me to do this for your reading. But here we are. So Aries, this energy is happening in the 9th house, the house of God, the house of philosophy, the house of foreign travel. All right, this is going to be a very potent energy for you that's going to give you some ideas and aspirations that may be different from your upbringing, your culture. You may be wanting to learn from other people's cultures. You may be traveling abroad, into a foreign country. Here, remember we did mention that the moon is squaring Saturn, and so this energy does say like schizophrenia here. What I'm kind of getting with that, and then there's patience in the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so what I'm kind of getting with that is there's some form of completion that's happening in your life, but there may be some fears or something that is holding you back from being able to actually see clearly. And so there's a need for you to slow down, be a little bit patient with yourself, be open to the opportunities that are different from that which you may not have experienced before. I would definitely recommend doing some breath work to clear your auric field. There's potential like rips and tears in your aura. Maybe you haven't practiced healthy boundaries, and so this is your opportunity to practice that healthy boundaries, to be able to better identify what are your thought processes and what is maybe like a collective thought process, or what is like an energy that you are taking in or reading or seeing that is maybe somebody else that you had like energetically interwoven with or connected with, because the way that I'm seeing this is you could be very clairvoyant, and because you're clairvoyant, you're able to see energies that perhaps other people don't necessarily see, that's in the area, in the space, but it's probably causing like intrusive thoughts, or causing you to challenge your connection with the divine, like challenge your belief system in a higher force, whether that be your higher self or that be, you know, a divinity, whatever it may be for you. This is your opportunity to be patient with yourself, and perhaps you're going to find yourself studying some form of like philosophy to bring like personal development and self-care, or psychology or something like that. Or maybe you find yourself again practicing something of another person's like culture or religion that is like really speaking to your soul, and you're like, you know, this works for me, right? This could be like even like a form of like yoga or prayer, because again, the 9th house is the house of God. And so if you find yourself having any mental distortion or chaotic energy around you, the advice is to get connected with source, connected with God, connect with the God within you. God brings clarity where there is some confusion here. And you know, when I hear the word schizophrenia, right, because I'm not a medical practitioner, so I'm not giving you medical advice, but what that is a medical diagnosis. What I'm seeing with that is that there's a need to do a cleanse, okay, so that you could bring some, like, you know, a head wash. I would say do a head wash to bring yourself mental clarity, maybe an ice bath, like a cold plunge, to clear that energy out. What's up, Crank? I'm gonna have to restart the video after this one, because I'm doing the collective readings right now, so we'll catch up after this live. So yeah, and then I mentioned completion too. So I do see completion here is like bringing back. This could also feel like forms of getting to know maybe different like religions, maybe changing a religion or leaving a religion that was making you feel crazy, whatever it may have you. This is to expand your aura and your belief system, but also in a way that is safe and protective of your vulnerabilities. So I would say, like, if you finding yourself like learning something new of a foreign country, like be patient with yourself, or another religion or something. Don't just jump the gun and rush into their practices. Like maybe take time to study. All right, that can be one of the things. This could also be taking the opportunity to like learn another language, right? Yeah, so there's changes here. You have the Six of Swords. So like I mentioned here, some of you may be traveling abroad. Yeah, may be going, traveling or guided to leave something behind that was bringing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of discomforts. But a lot of this was in your mind. So this is leaving the negative, like I don't like using the word negative for bad, because anyways, um leaving behind any intrusive thoughts. So essentially, this could be you having very pessimistic thoughts, and your guides are helping you navigate through the emotions of those thought processes, and trying to remind you and enlighten you into a space of more optimism, of hope, of clarity, of bringing you into the space that is free from the overthoughts, free from the intrusive thoughts, from the thoughts that are keeping you at a density that's keeping you low, right? And so this could also be divine intervention to help you get out of circumstances that just they've been heavy. And some of these thought processes, what I'm getting also is your guides are gonna be revealing to you. For some of you, it's not just all overthought. This could have been like somebody mentally manipulating you into believing that what you are thinking or knowing is not true. And your guides are like, listen, I take those thoughts, hold on to that thought right there. You may not be bugging. I'm going to take you into a space in which you're going to be able to see the truth in that which you were thinking. And for some of you, this is going to bring you those confirmations. And for some of you, it's going to just bring you the clarity. Like, yeah, maybe I was overthinking. Maybe I was tripping. Maybe I was wrong. Whatever the case may be, this is a divine intervention. Don't be afraid to ask for help is also what I'm getting with this energy. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And in the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Wands here. So, coming into the space of, those heavy burdens, those heavy thoughts, into the space of like, you know what? I really can manifest what it is that I want in life. And so being optimistic with your possibilities, jumping from one timeline to a new timeline, knowing that you can't take the burdens with you. You have to leave it behind. Where it is that you're going requires you to become a new person. You see the head wrap? The like I told you, I feel like some, and Aries, represent the head also. So I'm really feeling like some of you Aries are being called to do a head wash and maybe wrap up your head, your crown, to keep your thoughts in alignment with divine source, and not necessarily picking up other people's energies in that way. So essentially putting yourself in the experience to experience what it is that you want to achieve in success in your life, without the distorted, intrusive thoughts or energies trying to weigh you down. This could also be that like maybe God has given you a vision, an idea, a goal, a task, a mission, that you feel true to your heart and your soul, and other people don't have the vision, they don't have the sight, they don't have the comprehension to know. And I'm hearing like God don't give everybody the same message. God don't give everybody the same mission. God don't give you nothing you can't handle. And so there's a form of needing to clear your energy and bring in spiritual intervention and protection for you to be able to be successful in your goals, to eliminate those that are trying to bring you conflicting or opposing ideas like, you know, oh, you can't do that, that's not possible. And God is like, it is possible for you. It may not have been possible for them, but it is possible for you. I wouldn't give you this idea if I didn't think that you couldn't accomplish it. Right? And so that's part of like even the like schizophrenic thing, right? Like it's like taking on other people's ideas and it becoming an intrusive thought to you, essentially becoming like a hindrance or a limitation or something. And God is like, that is not your limitation. So you're having to leave the old timeline behind that is with those limitations, with those conflicting thoughts and ideas that is not serving the timeline that is actually full of opportunities for you, right? You leave the messy emotions behind into clearer, firmer waters. And you have faith and trust and the spirits of fire moving with you as opposed to overthoughts. And like I mentioned in the collective, like sometimes you just got to take that leap of faith and you may not know how exactly, but you know why you got to do it. So Aries, this energy is about really taking the leap of faith and protecting your vision. So for some of you, this could even be like, you know, traveling the world again, right? This energy in the traditional right away, she's holding the world in her hands. So like some of you, maybe you're feeling guided to move to another country or just travel to another country and stuff like that. Don't sell yourself short or small is kind of what I'm getting. It's like, think big. Allow yourself to think big and know that it is possible for you. All right, Aries. So I hope that brings you some clarity. I wish you all the best. And if you feel like you are dealing with a lot of psychological issues, I do recommend that you speak to a loved one, a friend, you reach out. If you have to, you can reach out to me, reach out to a therapist or someone that has the ability and the capacity to comprehend what it is that you are going through psychologically, but also has the ability to be compassionate and bring forth solutions as opposed to just like entertaining a conversation or enabling. This is not the time to be enabling those type of thought processes anymore. All right. I wish you all the best of luck and safe travels for those of you that are going to be traveling to those spaces. And again, if you are traveling out the country and maybe there was like a slowdown or some issues or something like that, this could have been like, you know, maybe, you know, it's not a no, but not right now. You know, maybe you need to change the date or something like that. But whatever the case may have you, it's something that you can look forward to with a positive mind frame. So stay focused on your goals, Aries. So we're going to be moving forward to Taurus. Taurus, this energy is happening in your 8th house. The 8th house is of power, of control. It's of resurrection. It's magic. It's occultism. It's fears. Okay. And so Taurus, this energy very much can be telling you that there may be some fears that you have to confront here. Yeah, you had the dream in reverse here. So this is telling me that like you having some dreams and some visions, and maybe you're not believing in your dreams anymore. Maybe, you know, you're stubborn or stuck in your ways and thinking, oh, it's not possible for me. You know, the 8th house is naturally ruled by Pluto or Scorpio energy. And that's, you know, your opposite. And so, you know, it's also the house of like sex and pleasure with that as well. So some of you Taurus may be finding, you know, if you're female, you having hormonal issues, or maybe you had some like surgery in your womb space, your ovary, your cervix, whatever the case may be. This may be a moon cycle that is really asking you to focus on some womb healing. If there is any like dis-eases or discomforts, again, this may be asking you to tap into like the healing realms with those waters, for you to also learn the lessons, maybe learn the information of how to overcome these obstacles, overcome the dis-ease with a more pleasurable mindset, with a healthy internal environment. Essentially, this is to bring a resurrection of your creativity, a resurrection of your pleasures, of your worthiness, of your sensuality and sexuality. This is to bring a resurrection of what it is that you are wanting to explore. This could also be maybe doing some shadow work and exploring your shadows without criticism, and really allowing yourself to be like, you know what, cussing them out is spiritual too. This could also be the eighth house is other people's resources and money also. And so you could be getting gifted money from other people. You could be borrowing money. You could be getting a loan. You could be clearing out debts or needing to address some sort of debts here, or something with like taxes, maybe rearranging, reorganizing or something to make sure, like, with your taxes. This could also be like if you're in a relationship, your spouse or something like that, some sort of confliction or distortion in regards to like maybe the way that y'all are communicating, and it's impacting your resources here. For some of you Tauruses, this could also be like maybe you was in a relationship that you had to let go, and you seen that it was like messing with your money. And once you let them go or something, you start seeing the money flow differently. This could also be finding like a business partner that's going to be investing in you, that is going to be resourceful to your business, or bringing you ideas, or bringing you the money. Whatever the case may be, this is external resources that's coming to you to help assist you with clearing out debt, to help assist you with fulfilling your purpose and your mission here. And they're saying like, don't be afraid to utilize the resources that you have available to you here, that this is to help you clear out those debts, whatever it is that you have to address in that space. There could have been some limitations or thoughts that we're really bringing you fear to like address these areas in regards to or maybe I'm not gonna apply for this like loan or this house or this and that because my credit may not be good or something like that. And Spirit is like, don't allow those type of fears or thought processes get in the way from being able to reach your goals. Apply for it, or see if what it is that you can use that's ready and available to you, that's resourceful to you, that can help you reach your aspirations, that can reach your goals, to clear that. But you're gonna have to confront these fears. You're gonna have to confront the uncomfortability, the uncomfortable spaces, right? So and that's for all genders. I know I started saying like with the womb healing, for some of you, even if you're divine masculine, this could be that, perhaps there were certain like addictions or shadowy aspects that was keeping you away from like maybe exploring love or healing in the space of like going. I wanted to say entrepreneurship, but that's not for everybody. But if that resonates for you, take it. But asking for help, or asking, applying for other resources and utilizing that. It is possible, yeah, with the dream. Like, you know, you may have a dream or a vision, or some of you, this could also be because the 8th house is also psychic abilities. This could be paying attention to your dreams. You may be having heightened sense of prophetic dreams at this time and messages in your dreams, and you're going to want a dream journal with that. Maybe you haven't been dream journaling, but you've been having like really vivid dreams. And so really paying attention to that, and maybe taking the time to write that down. Essentially, Taurus, this energy is to remind you about your power again. Remind you of who you are and your worthiness of it, and your magnetism to receive that from others. Receive the resources of love. Receive the resources of money. The resources of abundance all around you to come rushing in without you like, you know, maybe having too much pride, or, you know, like, oh, I don't need that. Yeah, the Page of Wands in reverse. There may be messages or things that you are, paperwork or something that you're ignoring, that you need to confront, that you're not allowing yourself to be open to receive. And the Wheel of Fortune in the bottom of the deck, which is ruled by Jupiter here. So with the Page of Wands in reverse, there's a lot of ideas that you've been getting. You got the Dream and the the Page of Wands in reverse here. This is letting me know that you are receiving messages that probably scared the shit out of you. Like, maybe your goals and aspirations is bigger than what you deem possible, and Spirit is like, feel the fear and do it anyways. For some of you, you could be feeling like you're getting a lot of nightmares, and it's because you're needing to confront your, you know, some of your shadows and do some shadow work. Whatever the case may be, you're trying to ignore the inevitable of what's around you. This could be some paperwork and contracts, but with it being dreams here, I really feel like you have told yourself it's not possible for you, or that you're not smart enough, or you're not capable of receiving XYZ. And you very much have been giving the dream and the vision and the messages that it is possible for you, but you're choosing to not be open to receive. Sometimes people say, I'm open to receive, I'm open to love, I'm open to all these things. And then they're truly, when Source, the universe, God is trying to hand these things over to you, you make every egoic excuse and things to like keep it away. This could also be like maybe having childhood traumas, or situations and fears getting in your own way, and you like, you know, maybe you haven't healed from that, and you're like telling yourself, or that you having some repressed or suppressed memories that's needing to that's possibly going to be coming up to the forefront, that you're like, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to tap into that or whatever, because you don't like the remembrance or the truth in that situation, but is needed for you to heal. Or maybe it's holding you back and you're staying stuck in those stories. Whatever the case may be, Spirit is giving you opportunities from, you know, I'm also getting some of you may have children, and like there may be certain like messages that you're getting from your children that you're not, you know, maybe some of you aren't communicating with them, or something that needs to be healed or reconnected. That essentially this is going to open your spectrum for you to receive more from the collective. You know, there could also be a hyper independence energy here, that, you know, maybe you tell yourself, I don't need nothing from nobody. And the 8th house is here to remind you that like everyone serves a purpose here, whether it's, you know, whether you like to accept it or not. You learn something from someone else. You receive, you know, there's a collective exchange that goes on here. And it's okay for you to allow people to invest in you. It's okay for you to be open to certain investments in your life that's coming from other resources or ideas, you know? Like, don't just shoot down an idea without hearing it out first. All right? That's kind of what I'm getting with this message here too. It's like an opportunity or something that like you're just quick to shut it down. You're quick to say, I don't need help from nobody, or I don't need this, or that's not for me, and it may have a bigger purpose than you actually realize here. And it's just challenging your fears. It's challenging you to grow in an uncomfortable space, for you to find a renewal of self in a new realm, in the depths in which you haven't touched yet because you are afraid. And essentially, this is going to bring you, you know, money changes and stuff like that. It is going to bring you success. It is going to bring you harmony. Yeah, because the bottom of the deck, like I mentioned, is the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is about victory, success here. And then the Two of Cups, collaboration with other people. There's somebody else coming in to harmonize with you, to bring clarity from darkness. So if you were thinking about business contracts with somebody else, but you have some fears because maybe you did business with a partner before and it didn't work out, and you're like, you know what, I'm never going to have a business partner ever again. I'm just going to do it by myself. And the universe is like, you have an opportunity to expand your business by like collaborating with XYZ, and you see it, but you don't, your fears are kind of getting in the way of collaborating with them. So you're like, I don't know if I'm not really open to a business partner right now. I don't think it's going to be an investment that's really worth it. But you're seeing that this is like something that's really like has the ability to bring expansion into your life, but your fears are getting in your way. That's within the realms that Spirit is like, be open to expansion, be open to the investments, be open to receive resources and information and help from others, because it's going to bring expansion to all involved in the long term. Shit kind of scary, the shit you talking about. I love you. Love you too. So yeah, letting go of that fear, letting go, you know, whatever's holding you back, don't let that shit, don't let it hold you back anymore. You know, I also mentioned, you know, with the sensuality, you know, again, y'all may have had a relationship that was very traumatic, or maybe you didn't feel as powerful or attractive anymore, or something like that. And like Spirit is like, allow yourself to flirt with yourself, allow yourself to integrate your shadows in a way that is healthy for you and not a detriment to others and to yourself, right? How do you allow yourself to expand your aura, expand your mind, expand your abilities, to attract more, without it being an obsession, without it being some form of addictive characteristics there that is keeping you in a like, I need more, I need more, I need more. Where can you see more, and where can you see enough? And where do you see like, this is rooted from trauma and I need to let this shit the fuck go because I like it over there and I want to be over there. So yeah, there could be a lot of opportunities coming in for you to step into your magic again. For some of you, this is actually doing some magic, to be able to call in your resources, doing some magic to clear out some debt, whatever the case may be. But I'm also getting like, comparison is a thief of joy here. So allowing yourself to be open to sharing what it is that you have to share with others, but also be open to receiving what others are trying to share with you without you comparing it to another person. What I'm hearing with is, if you find yourself in a space of comparison, look at the lessons of what is similar, and then be able and open to what is the differences there, and allowing yourself to have healthy discernment. It's about having healthy discernment, not comparison, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, like my ear is like, ooh, excuse me. That's like super irritating right now, excuse me. But, and that's my right ear. Some of you could be clairaudience, all right? Meaning you hear messages from the divine. And we're going to be moving forward to Gemini. Gemini, this energy is happening in your 7th house of longevity, of long-term contracts, of marriage. This is also the house that brings exposure to any enemies that may have been portraying themselves as a friend or something like that, or a loved one, whatever the case may be. So essentially, anyone that's not that hasn't been truthful to you, that type of energy will be exposed to you, and so you could be finding yourself either meeting somebody new or letting go certain relationships, because this is a new moon in Sagittarius. These connections, any connections, relationships that you have right now, this is really to bring a lot of expansion and birth something new that's in alignment with your soul's contract. But with the moon squaring Saturn, the challenge is for you to not let like the past traumas of relationships or fears get in the way. So going into it with an open heart, go into it with the ability to see what it is that you find of value, of integrity, what it is that you love here. All right. With it conjoining Mercury, and Mercury being in the sign, Mercury being in retrograde, there could also be maybe like past life connections, or certain like connections that's here to bring expansion. But I'm not getting it in a way of like karmas per se. I'm getting it more, or if it is karmas, it could be like good stuff is kind of what I'm getting here. But I'm getting like, don't let your past hold you back. Yeah, the miser. So you're decluttering, you're letting go. There's a reorganizing of your mind here. There was a lot of healing that needed to occur, or that needs to occur, when it comes down to your 7th house here. Yeah, the Fool. Allow yourself to take a leap of faith into the new realms. There was, maybe you used to overthink, or you used to be a certain type of way in your past relationships, and maybe it was toxic, maybe you were in karmic relationships, and you found yourself in a space where, like, maybe you weren't open to relationships, or you wasn't open to these type of things, and like you're not what I'm getting is like, you know how people sometimes they find love when they're not even looking for love, in a sense? That's kind of what I'm getting with this energy. Like, you just found yourself coming across something that is in divine alignment with your soul's contract here. And this is gonna be something that's gonna bring longevity, like a major change in your life. And even if it's not, like, for some of you Geminis, this is an actual marriage, right? You may be bringing your relationship to the next level, or you may find yourself like just bringing your relationship to yourself, a marriage to yourself, to the next level, married to the divine, right? yoking within yourself, whatever may have you here. This is about expanding your hearts here. This is about allowing yourself to not let any jealousy or not allowing others that may have put you down to close your heart space. This is about a heart expansion energy here that essentially is going to allow for you to travel the depths of your soul into a more prosperous space, and that's going to bring you a lot more success into your life here. I would recommend you, Geminis, if you know how to check your natal chart, if you want to reach out to me for that, feel free to definitely connect with me on a one-on-one. We can schedule that for you. But if you don't want to make that investment, I would just advise you to check into your natal chart and look at who is the natural ruler of your 7th house, because this is going to give you more of an idea of what energies or personifications are going to be coming in, that's going to be communicating to your heart at this time, that's going to be aligning with your soul's contracts here, and what shifts are going to be made for you to take a leap of faith into without being fearful of anything that was closing your heart or limiting your love language before, like being open to expanding your love language, being open to receiving this energy to expand the faculties of your mind and to create that union with yourself, that sacred marriage and secretion of the holy waters within your being, to bring you to elevated space of your spirit. Like I'm getting truly a divine marriage with this energy here. For some of you Geminis, if y'all were having certain issues in your marriage or something like that, with the moon square Saturn opposing Jupiter and conjoining Mercury, this could also show you the areas of your marriage or relationship that maybe was dimming your lights, that wasn't really my candle is like doing all types of things right now. There could have been certain karmas or certain things that you weren't really truly aligning yourself with, and so if I'm completely honest, for some of you Geminis, this could be a divorce in your marriage. Right? This could be a divorce in your marriage that source is saying, don't let this divorce deplete you or belittle you or close you out from love. Let this be an experience that is guiding you to true divine love that's going to serve you in your highest and greatest good moving forward for real. This was a lesson or a karmic exchange for you to grow from and expand from, but maybe you were just too clingy to the person or the idea as opposed to actually learning the lesson. So that's not everybody's story, but I am getting that as well. Because it's about like bringing your level of consciousness to a divine yoking with source. Truly like your spiritual marriage here. And so if you do find yourself having to be in a separation, Gemini, my condolences to you with that, but also my celebrations to you to honor your soul's purpose and mission, to allow yourself to really stop dimming your light, belittling yourself, and really honor your true being, right? Allow yourself to receive divine love. So there could be some form of benevolent divine intervention that's happening here, or you can pray for benevolent divine intervention here. Yeah, the 4 of Pentacles, you're really just holding on to this, and there's a lot of fears about, what may be trying to come in here. You may have been thinking a lot about marriage and what that means for you, and the Judgment card in the bottom of the deck here. So there's some of you There is more that's trying to come into your life, but you're holding on to what it is that you have as if you don't have room. You're not making room or creating room for that bigger package that spirit has for you, because maybe you're telling yourself, I love XYZ, and there's a, rather than it be like a unconditional love, there's a lot of conditions in the situation that is meant for you to learn certain lessons, so that you can really be tapped into true love in a way that is like the type of love that God created for you, that source created for you. And I think that's really beautiful for those that, maybe you never been married, you're not going through a divorce or something like that, and you're being presented, maybe you were single for a while, and you're being presented with an opportunity to connect with somebody new, or maybe you're in a relationship and you never thought that it was going to be this serious, but you found yourself like really in love with this person, and you're like, wow, like, I think I want to take this to the next level or something like that. I can see this being the new moon that's really gonna be bringing you to these things. This could also be a business partnership in the seventh house that is successful, that actually opens up your heart. You could also be meeting somebody that's in divine alignment with your love language, right? That's in divine alignment with like your business goals, your mental faculties, your spiritual beliefs, and your relationship ideals, or whatever the case may be. Your life, Geminis. This is just a general collective message for the Gemini collective here. So take the parts that resonate and leave the parts that aren't for you here. But I really do feel like there's a meeting of the minds that's going to be happening here. That's like, you might feel like you need to like, let me observe this, but also there's the invitation to really sit with yourself and see how is this expanding the bigger purpose of your soul, right? How is this expanding your love languages and whatnot. This is also maybe any long-term contracts when it comes down to like, moving and whatnot. If you are in a marriage, if it has nothing to do with divorce, this could be bringing an elevation up to the next level, or this could even be as simple as you finding yourself having to help your partner go through like a major life crisis or change during this time, Gemini. So like, maybe nothing bad is happening for you, or maybe it doesn't seem like there's much changes, but your partner is going through like massive changes and whatnot, and Spirit is saying like this is for you to provide that sanctuary, that safe space in your marriage to hold down the foundation while your partner goes through this changes, because this is something that is happening for a spiritual purpose of elevation and expansion and healing for the union and whatnot. And so, you're going to have to use your discernment with this. But for those of you that's having like your partner go through changes and whatnot, I'm getting like it's not a sense of like abuse. Like, don't stay where there's like abuse or any like that type of energy. I'm getting it from a space of, this person really loves you, and honor, they're just going through major changes, and you may not fully understand what their changes look like, or how that may feel, because maybe you never been through it, or maybe you have. Whatever the case may be, allowing yourself to honor with integrity your vows, being there through sickness and health and whatnot. So Gemini, I really love that energy for you. If this is about finances, this could also be that, like, maybe, let's say you're married and you were the breadwinner of the home, and you lose your career, you have a change of career, and it's no longer putting you in the same space, and now your partner is making more money. Like, this is maybe challenging to your ego, right? With the moon squaring Saturn, maybe it's challenging your ego, or your ability to be a provider and a safe haven for your partner. And your partner is here to serve as a reminder of reciprocation, of energy exchange, of love beyond materialism, of equally yoke, and being able to navigate the realms and balance in a way where we can create harmony in the universal song, without having to let money be something that's going to cause issue in our marriage, right? That can be some of your messages. I'm not sure for who that may be, but I am picking that up as a channeled message as well, Gemini. So, if you are a materialistic person, this is something like a spiritual lesson for you. And for some of you, it's like, maybe you're not a materialistic person and you don't care for those name brands, but your partner does. And it's like, be open to accept your partner for who they are. Maybe they want to start buying more name brand stuff, and that's what brings them value, whatever the case may be. And you're like, oh, that's not in alignment with me, but like, you love everything about this person. And it's like, are you willing to accept your partner for who they are, as long as they're not harming you and they're not harming others? And there is a sense of integrity when it comes down to what you both value when it comes down to marriage, right? So accepting the differences without letting that, be something that you're letting the materialistic parts hinder you, right? This is deeper. This Gemini, this energy in the 7th house is deeper than physical, is deeper than materialism. This could even be like, for some of you Geminis, if you are single and you do happen to meet somebody, maybe you weren't expecting them, like maybe they don't look like anybody else you ever dated before, something like that, and it's something that's like you're really open to exploring, though, like you feel it on a soul level. But like there could be certain like egoic things that's like going through the mind and whatnot. So navigating those waters with unconditional love, right? And again, for those of you in the 7th house where there are enemies, maybe you felt like, and the 7th house with exposing, exposing those hidden enemies, like, if it was, a friend that you felt, or somebody that like you felt these type of energies with or whatever, but you didn't have proof, and Spirit is saying like you trust what is being shown to you about people at this time. Like, don't make excuses for people, accept people for where they're at. And this is like a form of spiritual protection, so that you know who's around you and what's what. And like, I'm also hearing God say, like, remember that the enemy is part of the plan, right? So essentially, they're not a true enemy to you, but they're also not in alignment with you for the long term, and that's why they're being exposed. That's why they are you're able to see the parts of them that they were trying to maybe they didn't wish you well, or maybe they had some type of like jealousy thing. Whatever that looks like in that realm is gonna be exposed to you, and through that exposure is for you to put down those healthy boundaries and say, like, thank you for showing me this. Whether you say it to them or to source, like, thank you, source, for showing me, for keep revealing to me those people that aren't in alignment with my highest good, that don't serve me well, that don't really love me. Keep exposing these people to me so I can get them out of my life. Okay, so Gemini, that is your message. We're gonna move forward to Cancer. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Hello, 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 everyone that's coming in. Cancer, this energy is happening in your 6th house. This is the house of everyday activities. This is the house of pets. This is the house of healing. This is the house of your work, right? Your work habits. So there could be major changes. Maybe for some of you Cancers, this is a straight up opportunity to maybe get a raise, an increase of money, a change of career, birthing an opportunity, or creating some day-to-day habits that you've been wanting to change when it comes down to work. You may find with the moon square Saturn that maybe there was like some gossip at work or certain situations at work that was just like kind of challenging. What they're saying is be optimistic. Don't fall into the negativity. Remember that these things are happening so that you could actually create the shift in like communication and put yourself into a space of being the higher energy, and so they want me to be reword that last part about the higher energy. You are the higher energy, so with great power comes great responsibility, and they may not be able to really meet you at where your mindset, your mind is. If you're the biggest energy in the room, it's time for you to allow yourself to create a habit to be around those that expand your mind also. There's something about you may have gotten comfortable with being the teacher in your community or in your space, and it's almost like maybe you don't feel like you're learning too much from others as well. And allowing yourself the opportunity to expand that. I do feel an increase of money here too. Like this could be like maybe they're saying like don't settle. Allow yourself to expand your horizon. I got goosebumps all over. Don't settle for what you think you could only have for right now. Like, you deserve more, maybe even financially, or like this has to do with your day-to-day habits. So like essentially creating a habit, maybe taking one step forward that is different from your day-to-day habits, that's in alignment with your higher goals, your higher aspirations, right? Maybe, putting in, looking at like land, right? Maybe you renting a room or renting an apartment, or you're living in a space and you know that you want something more. So doing like maybe taking the opportunity to take an hour out of your day-to-day habits and put that towards what it is that you really want, right? This could also be like being mindful. There may be, if you have any pets or something like that, there could be something that maybe if a pet gets sick or something like that, it could be that this is something that they're sick because it's been something that they've been doing, and you've been feeding the pet on a day-to-day that's not really good for the pet or something like that, and you find yourself needing to like maybe change the pet's diet or change the habits of maybe the pet needs more exercise, and every day you probably just do a 15-minute walk or something like that, and Spirit's like, maybe try doing like a 30-minute or 45-minute walk every day as opposed to just 15 minutes with the pet, right? Or this could be like maybe you wanting to train a pet to do something new, and so it's gonna require you every day to stick to this like task, right? But again, because this is something that is healing in your life, and it could be financial healing, it could be foundational healing, whatever the case may be. And this could be maybe like even like your day-to-day work schedule, right? Like your habits at work may have brought you to a space of comfortability, but you know that you want more for yourself. But maybe you're not applying for different places, or you're not taking the initiative to change these things, or like vocalize like, hey, maybe you are taking on new work, right? Maybe you made it a habit to overextend yourself at work, but not talk about getting a raise. And it's like the opportunity for you to say, I've been working here for 6 months. I've been working here for a year and I haven't seen a raise. And I think it's about that time, giving yourself the opportunity to receive more. Not just be the one that's constantly giving more. Remember, we are in a time of proper reciprocation. And if your day-to-day routines, your daily routines are not meeting you at your soul's worthiness, what are you even doing? And that is something that the universe is communicating with you in all areas. Like it's almost like you're getting the message from the radio, you're getting the message from the internet, you're getting the message from your child or your pet or your neighbor, and you're like, I take the same route every day, or I've been eating this same meal every day. Like I'm eating this because I'm in survival mode and I'm used to this and this is what's around, but I know deep inside, like I want to change my eating, or I want to change this, or I want to have more luxurious experiences, but my day-to-day habits and routines doesn't allow me to. And like these are things that you have put in your minds that is keeping you trapped on that day-to-day routine. And you're being called to make some changes to expand your earthly experience in a more prosperous way that's also in conjunction to your soul's purpose when it comes down to your day-to-day routines, when it comes down to your work environment. I would say, like, for those of you who maybe work a 9 to 5 or something like that, if you have a cubicle or something like that, maybe even just like maybe you have things set up a certain way, change that around, change some stuff, move things around, rotate it, or even for those of you, in your home, like change your furniture around, move things around, take a different route to work. Whatever the case, allow yourself the opportunity to make a change in your day-to-day habits. And this is going to allow for you to see what it is that where you're being challenged at. What is the challenge? What is the lesson? And look at that as an opportunity for you to like navigate. Oh, this is the problem right here. This is the challenge right here. And instead of me letting that frustrate me or bring me down, I'm just going to change this because I've been doing this every day for too long and it's not appreciating my worthiness. It's not appreciating my lifestyle. It's not appreciating my soul. So I have to allow myself to put myself in the space of appreciation. How do I appreciate myself? How am I doing this? I'm telling myself I love myself, but yet I'm not allowing myself to even appreciate the value of my soul because I keep doing the same shit every day to accommodate the ways of the world. There's a type of healing that needs to happen there. What are your messages here, Cancer? Yeah, you could be comparing yourself to others here. You could be really friendly and stuff like that, and there's some sort of transformation though. You could also have, maybe there was some friends or certain things, like maybe you can't compare the bamboo to the other tree. Like they operate differently. So being able to see that, some of you could be changing your friendships. So like even your day to day, like maybe you've been hanging out with the same friends every day and you're no longer feeling resonance to them and stuff like that. And it's like not to compare them to your new version of yourself, but just to honor the experiences that they hold and know that there is a transformation that's happening in these areas here with your connections, because everything essentially is connected. They serve the purpose that they needed to serve here. And yeah, it's time for you with the Nine of Pentacles. It's time for you to receive more. It's time for you to make those changes. The Knight of Wands. Your spirit is moving you to the space to be able to receive more abundance in your life, because you magnetically attract that which you desire. You're not a type of person that don't get what you want. If you don't get what you want, it's because deep down inside you're telling yourself you're the one putting the limitations. But the truth and the actuality is that what you want, even if it's later in life when a person leaves your life or something, it ends up manifesting because you actually manifest all it is that you desire and you want. And it's a remembrance of pleasure. It's a remembrance of worthiness. It's a remembrance of, like, you know. And the Nine of Pentacles, what I like about the Nine of Pentacles is that she's single and doing this, right? Sometimes we think that we need other people and stuff around. No, the other people are complementary to our spirit and our souls. We can't compare ourselves to our friends. For some of you Cancers, if you're getting mood swings, if you're comparing yourself to your friends, you need to let that shit go. That is what is blocking you from your authentic money magic. That is what is blocking you from the tangible manifestations of what it is that you desire, for real, for real. Like, yo, and I know this is going to sound very vogue. Those of you who've been following me, you know how I am. So if you're new to the channel, then like you're about to find out. But like, comparing, like, you know, females, I love ya, but like sometimes females subconsciously compete with other females, and then you wonder why your pussy dry. Like, if you keep comparing yourself to somebody else, you're not gonna have a orgasm in life, because you're betraying yourself essentially. Anytime you're doing that, you could allow yourself to be inspired by others, right? You could allow yourself to feel the connection of like, oh, I love being a fucking bamboo, and I love that you're an oak tree. Like, I love that you're like the wise mother willow, and I love that you're like a rowan tree over there, and like you are fucking apple tree and you are fucking pear tree. Like, loving the differences of what it is that you each serve in life, and being able to make that work on a day-to-day basis that continues to cycle abundance and prosperity and appreciation in your life, and manifestations and all these experiences to be fruitful, if you will. Right? And allowing yourself to be open to receive that. When spirit is giving you the message of like, don't compare. When spirit is giving you the message, it's time for you to upgrade. It's time for you to get more money. It's time for you to, like, don't be afraid to ask for more money, because people's gonna think that you're materialistic. Fuck what they think. Why are you concerned about what's in their brain, about what they're thinking about you? It doesn't matter what they're thinking about you. Are you doing, this is also about attracting, not chasing. right? But that you're so magnetic, like you're so magnetic to what it is, like everything is moving fast. The changes are happening on your day-to-day habits. It's changing fast. So that you could have a fucking orgasm, so that you can have that wet wit, so you can see that the currency of life is creating a fluid river that is nourishing your crown, your mind, your body. These are changes that's happening fast on your day-to-day, so that abundance can continue to flourish for you. It's a transformation. So some of you, this is changing locations into a new space. So your day-to-day habits are changing. Whatever the case may be, make the changes that you need to make. Take the leap of faith. Don't allow yourself to compare, to be overwhelmed. Don't allow yourself to I look at jealousy and envy as a betrayal to self. You know, essentially that's what's telling you, like, you know, don't do that to yourself. Don't compare. You know, if you find yourself having certain mood swings or whatever the case may be, allow yourself to really, like, just take in the guidance. Take in the guidance so that you can flourish. So that you can flower into your true self. I'm so happy you're doing this. I can see you really care very much about others. Oh, thank you. I do. Gratitude for you being here. Just lost our Great Dane, Simon. Oh, my condolences, brother. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. So that could be where some healing is concerned, because the 6th house is also connected to pets. And so for some of you, there is some healing that's happening there. And I would say, you know, again, if you have any pets and maybe they got sick or something like that, what is a day-to-day habit or routine that's been going on in the house that possibly had caused the animal to get, you know, what, having to do the evaluation on the day-to-day habits that cause that. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's your fault or anything like that, but there definitely means that there's some changes that's going to happen in your day-to-day activities to create a healthier lifestyle, if you do choose to, like, get another pet or something like that. So my condolences, and if you feel like, you know, you need someone to talk to and you would like to reach out or something like that, you know, if you're going through a grievance process, I'm willing to be a pillar of light and hold down the space with you as we navigate through that, and know that it's completely okay to have some grief. Know that it's completely okay to experience what it is that you are feeling in that space, without hindering yourself from actually trusting the process and healing from that. So I love you for sharing that. And also know, like, everyone grieves differently, and you know, I'm a firm believer that now, you know, you have a new spirit animal. Like, they were your spirit animal in the material realm and the waking realm, and now you also get to, now they can do more work. They can do more work in the spirit realm for you, because they're in the realms of all possibilities, and in that they see the things that you may not necessarily see, and they get to be there with you. And so, you know, it's okay to talk to them, you know, even though sometimes it'll feel like talking to the air. They're listening, they hear you. Energy just gets transformed. It doesn't necessarily die. And, you know, with friendliness and transformation, right, as those were some of the cards that came out. I already reshuffled the deck, but friendliness and transformation came up there. And dogs are very loyal, you know, and they're known as man's best friend, you know, and so that, you know, death essentially is a form of transformation. That energy transferring the density into more into a lighter frequency, into the light body. And so really just taking that information and not comparing the experience. If you do happen to get a new dog, like, don't compare the new dog to the old dog, or allow yourself to say, maybe you do get a new dog and their behavior patterns are so different from the other, and it's like, oh, I used to do this every day with, I don't know the dog's name, but let's just say Bailey or something. Like, I used to do this every day with Bailey, and this dog doesn't like that. It's not for you to compare the experiences, but be open to the changes in the experience as well, and trust in the process that you are being guided to where you need to be guided. I wouldn't even be surprised if y'all end up coming across another dog that's like pregnant or a stray or something, comes to y'all like communicating or something like that, and you're like, oh, this wasn't the type of dog I was looking for, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe it's not even a dog, maybe it's like, another animal, and it's like, but that's the way that spirit is communicating, and it's happening fast. So be open to navigate that for your mind, for your emotions, and however it is that you need to navigate that. And just because maybe you're completely okay with it, but somebody else isn't, in the family or something like that. Maybe somebody else is taking it harder than you or something like that. And it's not to compare the grief either. It's not to compare how they do that, but rather pay attention to what are the daily patterns. So if somebody's taking it a little bit harder, maybe putting certain incense that can help reduce anxiety and depression, right? Maybe somebody's feeling depressed about that, and it's really hitting home for them. It's really hitting hard. Maybe just putting some getting some roses, to help alleviate the depression, or some lavender, or some chamomile, or some frankincense, or really connecting with nature in another way, or try to do things in a way that is like, I may not understand why they feel that way, or they're doing this in this way, but I know that I've had the experience of having a pessimistic mindset or a dense energy, and I know what it's like to be in that space. And so what is it that I can do on a day-to-day? Maybe it's as simple as going on a walk every day with that person. Like, hey, I noticed that, like, since Bailey, again, I'm using Bailey, I don't know if that's the dog's name or not, but I'm just using that as an example. But like, I noticed since like Bailey's been gone, like, you haven't been your most happy self, or you haven't been as active, and like, would you like to go on a walk? I think maybe we should go on a walk, a 30-minute walk every day or something like that, just to get out the house and change the routine. Go to a park or go hiking or something like that, just to kind of break out of the daily habits, to break that stagnant energy, to help the energy of grief move. Okay, so Cancer, thank you for allowing me to be your divine messenger. I wish you the absolute best, and clarity and healing through this journey, and I'm gonna move forward on to Leo. So excuse me. Leo, this energy is happening in your 5th house. The 5th house of entertainment, of children, inner child healing, of relationships, right? This is relationships as opposed to like marriage. This is also like flings and fun and spontaneous things, but happiness, cinema type thing, right? So this could be a time in which you're really going to be seen. At this time, you're having greater aspirations. There's also a focus on like what it is that you are entertaining in your life, especially with the moon squaring this moon square Saturn. It's really important for you to really like pay attention to what it is that you are entertaining at this time. Yeah, control and playfulness here. So, control and playfulness here when it comes down to the fifth house. Are you manipulating yourself into believing certain parts of yourself that is going against your inner child, right? Are you letting your ego get in the way of having a good time, of being in a space of more benevolent energy, of being playful or something like that? I'm feeling like there's a restriction or something when it comes down to the inner child and your inner play. Like maybe you've been really serious or something like that. And with control, with the energy of control, I'm getting a lot of ego energy here. I'm getting like manipulation and trying to control a narrative or like playing games or something like that. Let me get a little bit more clarity here. With the moon and Sagittarius opposing Jupiter, this could be maybe refocusing on what relationships, how sincere and genuine you've been with your relationships, or if there's been some form of like manipulations or playing games or something like that. This is about tapping into your innocence. Yeah, letting your inner child thrive. There's a new vision from your inner child that's trying to come through that you haven't actually allowed to come through because new vision came out in reverse here. And it's like you're trying to control that narrative that your inner child is trying to bring from you. And your inner child is bringing this from a space of great wisdom. So it's like if no matter how old you are, you have the ability to be as young as you allow yourself. There's a great divine wisdom of tapping into the inner child that the ego will try to control and not let you actually experience that connection with source, right? This is essentially asking you to slow down. Whatever you may have been running in a certain direction or going in a certain direction, and things are asking you to kind of like slow down and pay attention to what is going on in your existence right now. And are you acting from a space with a pure heart? Are you acting from a space, or not just acting, like it's not even an act, but are you being in tune with joy, with love, with happiness, with what is fulfilling to your inner child? How can you have fun again? How can you allow your existence to bring you to a space of integrating the wisdom of your child, of the child? Are you doing what you love, right? The fifth house is entertainment. So you could be in the entertainment industry. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you do music. Maybe you do artistry. Maybe you're an influencer. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot. You have the ability to see the vision, like have a new vision, but you may be trying to control that too much, or you're not allowing your innocence to really thrive in that new vision. So you're keeping yourself in a space where like you're not trying to see certain things through. With the new vision in reverse, it's like you're trying to protect like an old narrative. Maybe there's a form of stubbornness or something like that. Let me see here. Let me get some more clarity. But there could be some changes in a relationship. Yeah, there may have been. Yep. I said slow down, right? You're being called. you're being called, you know, maybe you're overwhelming yourself with work. Maybe you're taking on too much and it's not allowing you to really see things with great clarity. See, the wands are spiritual, it's spirit, right? It's fire. It's what's in, but you're not able to see it, right? Like, she's holding all the wands, but it's covering her eyes, it's covering her face, right? And talk about covering eyes, like right behind that is the Two of Swords, like not really seeing things clearly and feeling and maybe indecisive or confused and needing to make a decision, right? And there's a need to like pause and like meditate in that, because there could have been like some communication that you're not wanting to receive properly or something like that, like heavenly information. And when it's upright, like, you know, this energy also, like the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords can be symbolic to an actual person in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but there's a sense of like, it maybe things are like being cold or like really direct, and stuff like that. And so there could be maybe a lack of communication or something like that going on. Whatever the case may be, there's something here about needing to allow your inner child and innocence, allow you to be in tune with and be in tune with your intuition, be in tune with divine source frequency, the vision that source has for you. With new vision in reverse, it's like almost like you're not allowing yourself to see the bigger picture. Or there could be something that you're entertaining or playing around with and trying to control in a certain way that it's like you need to slow down from that or something like that. If you are overworking or something like that, you might be in a space of needing rest, right? From work. Needing rest from like that which is a burden or overwhelming you, essentially, and allow yourself to get back to laughing. Maybe watch a comedy, maybe, you know, put yourself to allow yourself to go on a date, or you know, connect with your friends, right? Maybe you've been putting too much emphasis in a space that's a little bit burdensome, and you're forgetting how to have fun, to be playful with yourself, and you're burning out. It's like literally the candle just like burned out in that. So you could be burnt out. You could be putting yourself in an experience that is not really it's almost like you feel like you're the wisest one in the room, but there's actually a need for you to step back and learn the wisdom from that innocent space. You know, as children, we you know, we allow ourselves to feel, we allow ourselves to do things that sometimes doesn't make logical sense, but is in divine alignment with our highest self, and it brings in opportunities that is very fortunate, that expands our vision and helps us see things more clearly. And so that's something that you can consider if your life has been like a little bit too serious, Leo. But at the end of the day, with it being in the 5th house, I really like how like there is a healing that's happening here. There's a lot of wishes that can be fulfilled here. All right. So just allow yourself to, if you have a temper, if you're someone, I'm like getting like, you know, minding your temperament here. All right. Allowing divine intervention and guidance to occur. Maybe call on divine intervention. If you're a person that's maybe hot-headed or angry or something like that, there's a need to, like, again, with the cooling down, the slowing down, you know, you might be needing to take that pause. Like I said, there's something that you're needing to put to rest, because it's really, you're hurting yourself in that space. You know, maybe there's a a want or a need for a lot of like, and these are all major arcanas, just to be very clear. That's like in the bottom of the deck coming through. So like this is something that is major to your soul. And you know, maybe the little things of like work and finances and mundane shit is overtaking the ability for you to really connect with your soul's mission or vision. Losing sight, it's almost like if you with new vision in reverse, there's something about the ego trying to control the narrative of what is this vision for you. And this could be like, maybe some of you do have children and you're like, maybe you're feeling like it's a burden for the, you know, with this child and stuff like that, and you needing to take care of the family and needing this, and like you're not able to really learn from the experience of that, or because everybody's story is different. Whatever the case may be, there's a major challenge with Saturn, right? With the moon squaring Saturn, that's really trying to get you back into the space of innocence, of learning the wisdom from a space of spirit, and from beyond what meets the eyes. Yes, the physical eyes, but from a space of like compassion and love and joy, playfulness, right? Don't forget to play. Don't forget to have fun. You know, don't forget to connect with being silly and laughter and flirtiness. Like, embrace this energy with that's the only way you're gonna allow yourself to appreciate the joys of your existence. You came into this realm to experience fun and pleasure, and to see your soul through the experiences of that, of pleasure, of fun, of like, you know, listen to your favorite music, listen to, you know, what creative ideas. I feel like you're gonna get a massive amount of creative ideas during this time once you allow yourself to let go of control of how you think things need to be in your life, and you allow yourself to explore more laughter, more fun, and be open to some sort of vision that you're not seeing clearly. Because with new vision and reverse, you're not wanting to look at you're like maybe you're firm or stuck on looking at things one way, and there's a need to broaden your perspection, like to expand your thought forms, or your ability to see things in a higher way, with a new perspective here, by allowing yourself to be childlike, allowing yourself to forget what you think you know. And it's, you know, I'm kind of like unlearning, right? Unlearning what it is that you think you know, so that you could be open to learning something new and go with it with great curiosity, and like, yeah, just like go into it at with like a childlike mentality, in a sense. This is gonna bring guidance. This is gonna bring more meaning to your existence, essentially. Maybe you tell yourself, I don't have time to play. I don't have time. I have all these things I have to do. But sometimes things can't move forward until you allow yourself to, like, you know, fresher ideas can't come in if you're just on a constant wheel. You have to be able to allow yourself to step out of the wheel, step out of that burn, you know, so you don't burn out. You need to allow yourself rest. Yeah. So that is your message, Leo. All right, y'all, we are going to be moving forward to Virgo. Virgo, this energy is happening in your 4th house. This is the house of the home, of the mother or parental figures, not necessarily just the mother, but parents in general. Real estate as well. And so you could be called to stay more at home during this time or make major changes in your home environment. Some of you can be moving into a new location or just changing your furniture around, making major changes when it comes down to the home, essentially even your temple and anything that has to do with parents. Maybe there's certain healing things that you got to go through with, like healing the mother womb or healing certain things when it comes down to your either parent, right, that has really affected your upbringing when you was a child at home, whatever the case may be. This is something that you're going to be going into deep introspection during this new moon here. And I really do feel like it's bringing you into space to some of you Virgos, like either if you're changing, I feel like, you know, maybe you did or you're in the midst of doing some inner healing when it comes down to the mother womb and how that looks like for you. And this leads you to make major changes in your home foundation, excuse me. And like you change locations. This could also be inheriting a home or getting into real estate. I really, when I hear, you know, get the real estate part, I really do see Virgo. I really see you staying at home during this time. So maybe people are wanting to invite you out more during this new moon. And maybe you felt like you got ready and everything, but then your like intuition just gives you that gut feeling like, I think it's better for me to stay home. I'm going to say honor your intuition when it comes down to that. Perhaps the universe has a way of making you like lose your keys or something like that, and you have no other choice but to stay home. Maybe there's certain issues. This could be about piping. This can be like, you know, just the home foundation needing some healing, needing, you know, your attention at this time. That's going to require you, or the universe forces you, right? With like the moon squaring Saturn. Saturn is like, yo, listen, there's some deep contract shit that you need to take a look of responsibilities that needs to be taken care of here that require you to stay at home or work from home. Some of you, this could be given an opportunity to work from home. If you, you know, if it's in regards to like career, this could be something about like traveling. So some of you, it's manifesting a job from home. And for some of you, this is actually like, maybe your career is asking you to change location. So being open to changing your location with that, just because of how, like, and that might like bring some fears or challenge your mindsets of like, do I want to relocate for a job, or those type of questions. And so Spirit is asking you to look at what is the goal. Do you see yourself long-term with this career? Do you see yourself wanting to stay in this type of foundation for a while? And if so, is there going to be an increase of money? What's the money going to be looking like? So looking at the pros and cons when it comes down to that, and possibly being open to relocate. But again, because there's the opposition to Jupiter and the moon conjoined Mercury, and Mercury and Jupiter are both in retrograde, and this square to Saturn, I would really do the pros and cons when it comes down to the relocation, and see if this is in alignment, not just with money, but what you aspire for yourself long term. because this does have the opportunity, if it is in alignment, this has a massive opportunity to bring you expansion. And once you let go of the fear of holding you back from like the restrictions of staying in one location, right? And the other note, if you're only doing it for money, but you don't like your career, you don't really like this and stuff like that, then this may be an opportunity for you to really look at what it is that you want to navigate through to get to expanding into the depths of the realms that brings you pleasure in your career, and working in the realms that you want to work at, that's in alignment with your soul's desire. So really taking a look at that, and then that might require you to like stay at home more. Whatever the case may be, you are being called to stay at home. There's also like laziness is coming up here. So Virgos, if you know, are you feeling lazy at this time? Are you feeling like, you know, are there certain things that you're not paying attention to at the home and that you're not getting done because, you know, maybe you just don't, you're feeling lazy about doing it, or you just, maybe you feel like somebody else at the home is being lazy and you're looking for more harmony. There's a thing about bringing harmony to the home here, so that you can tap back into your creativity. Maybe you're not feeling so creative and stuff. And so, if you are a Virgo that's been at home, but you've been lazy, you know, there's certain responsibilities, certain things that have to get done, but you haven't been getting it done, then you are being called, you know, to bring back harmony, to put the work into action so that you could actually allow yourself, you know, there could be some ego at play. There could be some arguments or certain challenges with the Five of Swords here. And the bottom of the deck is the King of Swords. And then Virgo and your energy, the Hermit. So y'all are being called to stay at home. Put yourself in hermit mode. Really look within and let go of any laziness. Let go of any outside projections. You know, I'm kind of getting like a battle of the egos here. And you know, take the initiative to work on with again, with the moon square Saturn. You may not want to do what it is that you have to do, but you're being challenged and called to do that which you need to do. Here, there's a certain level of responsibility that needs to be taken care of in order for harmony to come into place, so that you can feel like you're back in tune with your creativity and expanding your consciousness to this higher level. And it's going to require you to not just go deep within, but go beyond the illusion of how you think things are supposed to be based on other people, and slowing down the mind. Slowing down the mind. I'm getting a form of isolation here that is kind of like necessary for some of you here. Isolating yourself so that way you could really see how it is that you're communicating with yourself, with your mind. How are you needing to make, what changes is required of you at this time. I would recommend moving some furniture around, maybe changing, you know, for some of you, this could be whatever. Maybe, you know, you got to change your locks, or you got to change something at the home, or you know, maybe it's time to renew your contract, your lease or something like that, right? And you're like really contemplating staying another year at your place. Like, do you really want to stay there? What it is in your foundation is really what is being called for you. So as much as it's the home, it's also home is where the heart is. So going internal with this as well, in order to reconnect with your creativity here. All right, Virgo. So I'm going to move forward to Libra. Libra, this energy is happening in your third house. This is the house of aunts, uncles, cousins, siblings. This is the house of travel, of communication, of early childhood education, communication. All right. So y'all could be making massive changes. Y'all could be, paying attention to contracts at this time. Y'all could be, being called to like maybe even explore like your local neighborhood and places that you haven't gone to, doing something new in that space. There could be something about like even your children, right? Or your child's education and whatnot, or learning something new. Maybe you feel like studying something new. This could be about reading, writing, maybe you feel called to read a book or to write a book. Wheel of Fortune. There's going to be major changes in this space here for you, Libra. And I really like this energy here. If you're being called ordinariness here, all right. What I like about this card with ordinariness here, Libra, is that this card of ordinariness is about having gratitude and seeing the magic of day-to-day experiences, right? Too many times the mundane can feel boring. It can feel like, there's nothing magical about this and stuff like that. And so your life becomes bland. It becomes, and again, with the moon squaring Saturn, it could be pessimistic. It could feel like there is nothing magical about your day-to-day experience. But it's about remembering that your existence is magical. It's about, if you have children, remembering that that's a miracle that you created in connection, in conjunction with God's source energy to create that, right? And so there's a magic in learning something new. There's a magic in writing. You write it down and it can manifest, right? Like super fast. There's a magic about cooking. There's a magic about showering, right? Like essentially there's a magic about breathing. You can truly recalibrate each and every cell, every organ, every molecule in your body just by how you breathe. And experiencing the magic and the gratitude in that and how it reshapes your perspective. There could be something about aunts and uncles. Maybe you receive some news or a phone call. And with the moon squaring Saturn, this could be maybe difficult news, right? That may be challenging to, challenging you in a way of how you digesting that information. But essentially, this is something that's going to bring you to have a deeper connection with God, with Source. Maybe they even bring you a deeper connection with an aunt, an uncle, a sibling, or something like that. This could be healing or communicating with a sibling that maybe you haven't communicated before with in a while, or you had some sort of argument. This could also be because it's conjoined Mercury. Okay, and Mercury's in retrograde. There could be some sort of argument or dispute when it comes down to a sibling or an aunt or an uncle. Some sort of disagreement. All right, this energy, I have to look at both sides of the pillar, and it does have the potential to kind of be in that realm. I would also say, Libra, because this is in your third house, pay attention. And Mercury and Jupiter are in retrograde, and it's also squaring Saturn. I would say be patient with your driving. If you have any car issues, paying attention to any car issues that you may want to fix at this time. I would say, don't don't necessarily be speeding like that. Take your time, be patient. Expect any type of like delays, you know, so maybe leaving the house a little bit earlier so you're not rushing to where you gotta go to, just in case if there is any traffic or accidents or delays or something like that, you can still get to your destination safely and patiently getting there without having to rush and be frustrated. So minding your temperament or frustrations and something when it comes down to that on the road. Or if you take the bus, you know, maybe you missed the first bus and you're like, oh fuck, or something like that, but not letting it overly consume you here. And again, if there's anything to do with like contracts or paperwork or something like that, really taking the time to reevaluate that. But this could also be starting new ideas, new contracts. It can go either way. Because this energy is very mercurial, which is neutral. It's not necessarily malefic or benevolent. It's neutral in a sense that it can operate from both realms. So it may feel harsh or it may be easy peasy. But how you communicate with yourself and others is going to be a big thing. But if you feel like there's a challenge in communication, just being patient with that. Being patient with that. I really like this energy. I really like this energy here. This could also be like, if you have children, maybe learning something new from your children. And it could be opposing your perspection or your views or something like that. But essentially, this is going to bring expansion to the mind if you allow yourself to be open-minded with this form of communication. And the same, with siblings and stuff. So I really like this energy for you, Libra. It feels very, it just feels full of potential. It feels like you're going to be able to navigate into new places and new realms. And again, this is local travel as well. So maybe you find yourself taking like a staycation or a day trip or a weekend trip or something like that to, another city or something that within your same state or something like that. That these type of things, traveling, communication. I'm gonna say call your loved ones if you haven't spoken to them and make some, allow yourself to have those uncomfortable conversations and find peace within yourself. But this is not about Libras. Y'all are also known for people pleasing with the moon squaring Saturn. The lesson here is to have healthy boundaries with your communication and knowing how to say no when you mean no and say yes when you want to say yes. This is not about people pleasing. This is essentially about having proper communication and being open to disagreements without without it being conflictive to your integrity, without it conflicting or bringing confusion to who you are. Essentially allowing you to stand true to your authenticity, to who you are, to standing in your square, while honoring that two things can be true at the same time, and also being okay with disagreements without it impacting you to sacrifice yourself, essentially. All right, let me see here. Let me get one more card here for Libra. I really do like this energy, though. Let me get one more card here for Libra. And about your communication, put it in writing. Yeah, the creator, the rebel, and receptivity. It's okay to be known as the bad guy also. Sometimes people are going to paint you as the villain to their story. And it's like, You don't have to be fed the gossip. You don't have to, you know, what other people say or think about you doesn't necessarily mean that is the truth of who you are, you know? And so standing true in your integrity, and just letting the intensity of their words, like, show the truth of the light and the way for you to really be empowered with speaking your truth, with vocalizing your truth, with standing on your boundaries, and also not be intimidated or influenced by the words of others. You know, essentially letting that intensity fuel you to continue to be a true source of who you are, with the healthy boundaries, and honoring the experience of words and how magical it can be. So if you let somebody's words put you down, then that's going to be the magic that manifests in that is a belittlement, right? But if you allow yourself to empower yourself with words, then you essentially get to expand and open yourself up to more opportunities that you'll be able to travel through had you not stood up for yourself, had you not put those healthy boundaries, had you not, you know, it's a form of liberation and expansion with that as well. So even though sometimes, you know, boundaries can feel like it's constricting certain things, is also a way of expanding confidence and stuff, and your ability to move into other realms as well. So Libra, I love this energy for you. We're going to move forward to Scorpio. Scorpio, this energy is happening in your second house. This could be major changes to your finances, to your career, to your values. You know, maybe things that you once valued before, you no longer value. Yeah, you got new vision here and guidance here. All right, new vision and guidance here coming out for you. In the bottom of the deck, you do have isolation, Scorpio. All right, so there may be something that's changing in your life that you might have to do solo here. A new vision or a new guidance, a new path, a new way that, again, like maybe something you once valued before. Excuse me, I need to take a sip of my coffee. Maybe something you once valued before and you no longer value it. You know, you had a change of thought. Maybe it was something very materialistic and stuff like that, and like you really was in that space, but your values you find a shift in your values that's more internal of your heart frequency or something like that, and or your soul's guidance or a vision that is requiring you to change. And there's about with the moon squaring Saturn, there's a thing about karmic reciprocation here, karmic energies, and a balance. So essentially making sure that there's fairness and an even give and take when it comes down to what it is that you value, what it comes into your investments. Essentially, making sure that you are investing in the things that are investing in you as well as you being able to share what it is that you have. When it comes down to the second house, this is more about money that you earn, okay, as opposed to money that's just given to you. And so hard work paying off essentially could be the theme here, as well as, this could be maybe somebody borrowing, asking to borrow money or something like that. Or there could be something that was like at an imbalance that was creating distortion that is now requiring you to take a leap of faith to bring balance back into your world here. And there's been a lot of guidance or something here, and a new vision, something that you've been feeling called to, that you're like, I really but it's something new. With in the bottom of the deck is the Page of Wands. So it's there's a lot of potential, but there's a lot of immaturity in regards to this. So there's still, with the immaturity, it gives you the opportunity to learn. It gives you the opportunity to be like a baby and have a fresh start, a new beginning, with this, and grow into the experience. This essentially with the new vision coming out and guidance, in the second house. This could be, maybe a new career path that you're like a baby in that area, and so you have all the potential for growth, but you can't go into it like you're the master of that trade when you're actually the student in that space, right? That's something like a new career, or maybe you get a promotion, and you was a master in your old position, but like in this new promotion you're still a baby. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to grow from here. And making sure that, again, the teacher knows when to be a student, and the student knows when it's time to step up to the plate and help teach others in that as well. It's about bringing that balance into this space here. You had to walk away from certain situations here that was no longer serving you. There was a lot of, and you coming out the death card here. Yeah, there was an ending, having to walk away in certain experiences here in order to bring this balance here. All right, but this is bringing you into a fresh space, essentially. Be open to change, whether this is changing your career, changing your finances, changing your values. This change essentially is going to bring you into that space of like the Empress energy is kind of what I'm seeing here. Okay. And so honoring that space of creativity, but being at it with the mindset of starting new, even if it feels lonely, or not lonely, but like even if it requires you to go at it alone for a moment. I really do feel like this is going to bring a lot of opportunities for magic to be created in your realms here, that is going to look at how your finances shift. If your finances shift for the better, then that is the karmic reciprocation from Saturn that is saying like you earned this, right? If your finances plummet down, that is Saturn saying you earned this. Like it's whatever's going on with the like finances and values and changes in this second house. Saturn is saying this is because of what needs to be balanced out here. This is about energetic reciprocation. About what you put out is what you will receive in the second house here. So I really like this energy for y'all because it feels so full with new vision and guidance coming in here. It does feel like there's a lot of potential. Hi, John Michael. It feels like there's a lot of potential for you to move forward. And receive the fruits from the trees that you have been watering, right? Essentially, to receive the harvest in which you have been putting in the work in those spaces. And if you're not necessarily seeing a harvest, if there is an ending or a situation that had to be put to rest that can't come with you anymore, it's because it wasn't equally yoked. There wasn't a proper reciprocation or balance to this, or perhaps you wasn't nurturing that or watering that in the same respects because you didn't deem it as value as you value whatever is that is essentially it's going to show you where your values are, what you value and what you don't value. What you don't value is not going to have the potential to flourish, but what you do value is going to have the potential to flourish, and you'll be able to see that. All right, Scorpio, that is your reading. We're going to move forward to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this energy is happening in your first house. This is the house of self. This is the house of identity. This is the house of the body. So your body could be going through new changes. You might be finding yourself wanting to maybe, change your clothes, or do more self-care rituals. You might find yourself wanting to be a little bit more isolated or something like that. But I really do feel like this is about self-care, self-love. This is about really like expanding your experiences into the realms of like receiving what it is that you are wanting to call in. Excuse me. So going into things with a lot of exploration and joy. So, I'm going to share really quick for like an example, right? I never took belly dancing classes, but I like to move my body. I like to move my hips. And I told myself, one day I'm gonna do belly dancing. So what I did was I bought like belly dancing outfits and stuff, so I could dress the part and like really prepare myself to be in that identity as a belly dancer, even though I never took the classes and stuff like that, right? And so dressing the part that you want to be, but not faking it till you make it. It's actually being the identity, being that part, and not necessarily in an egoic way that is quote unquote bad, but integrating the identity with the spirit. All right. We have an ego for a reason. Ego helps us compartmentalize what it is that what belongs where, right? For organization, essentially, or to identify the spirits, identifying your faculties, right? In your mind, identifying good from bad, identifying comfort and discomfort, whatever the case may be. So your body at this time is going to communicate that with you. Paying attention to what your body is telling you. If your body is telling you, this is making me uncomfortable, being able to identify the discomfort and allowing yourself to say, what about this is uncomfortable? What is this? Allowing that communication, because remember, the new moon in Sagittarius is also conjoined Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is in retrograde. This is retrospection when it comes down to the first house. Listening to the body's language. What is your body telling you? Is your body telling you, hey, that food doesn't really digest well with my stomach. My organs aren't really moving at the speed that it needs to really feel energetic with this, or this is making me feel sluggish, lethargic, depressive, sad. It's changing my mood, while this food over here makes me feel electrified. It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel energetic, right? Being able to identify these things. If your body is telling you, hey, I need a little bit more rest, allowing yourself to take a nap. Or if your body's like, we've been chilling here, relaxing, and, I feel energetic. I feel like it's time to move my body and to do things, listening to your body, and maybe going to, whether it's working out or going out for, a walk, or to the park, or to a place to have fun. Maybe you're feeling called to like declutter your closet and change your clothes and get rid of that, and like you go and you do that purge because you feel like your identity is changing and the clothes in your closet is no longer like representing that change. This may seem materialistic or egoic. Essentially, it's a way of expressing your soul, as well as like you are made in God's image. You are made in the image of your creator. And so we are not our bodies. The body is made in the image of our higher selves, right? And so how does your higher self want to be expressed? We came to this earthly experience to express ourselves in this way, you know, by experiencing. And it's okay to comprehend that, yes, we have an ego. You are not your ego, but you can integrate the ego with the spirit and saying, you know, I 100%, my soul thrives in this space, in this area. And these things here, my ego likes it, and it complements both my ego and my soul. And I can dress in this way that feels 100% like my authentic self, right? So really embracing that. I really like how this energy is, Sagittarius, is like really being in like the fullest expression of your expansion, of your philosophies, of your beliefs, and really just like integrating that with self, and self-love. So, are you caring for your body? Do you want to, you know, do different hairstyles, or do you, you know, some of you may cut your hair. Some of you may put hair extensions. Some of you may dye your hair. Some of you may come up with like, you know, treating your hair with natural products or something. Or maybe some of you throw away all, you know, you're like, this soap and this and that, this is toxic to my body. And so I'm going to go more organic, more natural, and put these things into my body, you know, just to kind of love on my body more. For some of you, this could be getting like a tattoo or doing a piercing or something, some form of alteration to your body, right? Whatever it may have you, you know, it's gonna be within the realms of those changes. So let me see what other messages we have here for Sagittarius. And again, for those of you that are listening, regardless of what your sign is, you know, the Sagittarius reading, because this new moon is happening in Sagittarius, it's gonna resonate for everybody. And again, you want to pay attention to this for the next 6 months. And if you are coming from other, I should have said this in the very beginning of the video, but this, you know, essentially you want to listen to your rising sign first, your moon sign second, and then your sun sign third. However, again, the Sagittarius reading is going to be for everybody. So you have participation. And I feel like the ways of the world, really here, how are you participating in life? How are you participating in life? Do you trust yourself? A lot of people also they don't know how to trust themselves. So essentially they have trust issues with others. But when you trust yourself, you have healthy discernment and knowing, if I trust myself, I trust my intuition, whether I have proof or not about a person, place, or situation. And your body has different ways of telling you about the unseen, right? Like essentially your body is going to receive the information that is around you, the energy that is around you. Your body is your pendulum. So when you can trust the communication of your body, you can trust your intuition, you can trust yourself to participate in life in a way that you trust your soul purpose, you trust your mission, you trust the people around you, because you trust yourself to be able to choose those people to stay in your life, just like you trust yourself to remove the people from your life, okay? And it's about listening to your body beyond the illusion. So again, even though there's aspects of self that identify with the ego, essentially this new moon in the 9th degree is talking about integrating the ego with source, with soul, so that way you have healthy discernment. The ego, again, has the ability to identify things, to that word is gonna fuck with me. Whatever, to identify. Why? What is discernment? A form of judgment, right? Judgment does not have to be good or bad. It is what it is. But essentially, you are the captain of your ship, and you utilize the judgment for discernment. And healthy discernment allows for you to say, I trust that this is not working out for me because it is not in divine alignment with my highest and greatest good, and so I can set it free because my everything, I don't have any proof, but everything in my body, everything in my intuition is telling me this is a no. And so you allow your body to sway as a pendulum. It tells you no. You go where you trust beyond the illusion of what is, and you participate in that experience by making a choice and say, I'm going to go over here because over there, that's a no, right? Until you further things. That's your connection with source integrated with the ego in a healthy way, so that it brings that spiritual protection. Because what the ego's job is to protect you. The ego's job is to defend you. And so your source is full of all potentials and all possibilities and all forms of creation, right? So essentially you give it a way that the ego is going to go based on what it sees, but there's going to be parts of it that you can't see that your body is communicating beyond the illusions, right? And that's being tapped in with source, right? And again, I'm speaking from a space of healthy integration and honoring and learning to trust your body, right? Where you have that trust. But if you don't have that trust and your body is reacting from a space of trauma, there's a lot of confusion and stuff like that, that might be something that you need to heal, where the moon square Saturn is like, you're constantly getting proof by the universe that your intuition is off, or that your relationship, maybe you have friends that's betraying you or gossiping about you, or, all these things are going wrong. And it's because you're not really, you're operating from a space of like just ego that's not integrated with your true divinity. And, it's not working out for you because you don't trust yourself. Because if you trust yourself, you would trust to that person over there really loves me. And that person over there really is showing me the true value of loyalty, of friendship, of compassion. But over here, this person constantly challenges me to betray myself, to not be with integrity. They're always downplaying me. They're always putting me down. They're always, they don't ever, they manipulate my emotions and my mind and stuff. And they don't have they don't value or appreciate my existence. But then you still choose to be in that friendship. And every time that they belittle you or they betray you or they do something, you doubt yourself more and more and more and more and more. That is where you need to heal. And that is where Saturn is telling you, you don't have the confidence and the trust in yourself to have a healthy discernment, and you are being guided to heal that so that you can look beyond the illusion of things, learn to trust yourself, and participate in the grand vision of your soul's purpose in a healthy manner. Otherwise, you're participating with just the egoic mind of identity, and you're not really looking beyond the illusion, and you're in a space of doubt rather than trust. And that's why you're in those toxic environments. And so that's part of the lesson here, so you could expand your consciousness here. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's not about how others do it. It's about how are you able to truly get in tune with yourself, that you can trust yourself, so you can trust the guidance of your soul to navigate you into the connections that's healthy, meaningful connections, into the opportunities that's bringing expansion and abundance and prosperity with good health, good wealth, good fortune in your life. How, when you trust yourself and you don't doubt yourself, that brings you a special glow, because your confidence level, like, brings your core to, like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what's going on around me. That may try to challenge me, but what don't kill me makes me stronger. Right? And you feel confident to overcome these obstacles, as opposed to feeling defeated and feeling, now you again, your body, your aura, and all of that begins to change. Your identity is fortified. Your mind is fortified in alignment with your soul. But when you're in that space of confliction and doubt, maybe you feel energetic weights and density and heavy and ugly. You don't feel as pretty and all these things, because you're not really trusting and being in alignment with your soul's identity. You're just in alignment with the egoic identity. And once you integrate that, the first house integrating the soul with the identity really allows for you to be empowered with that. And you embody that. Essentially, the first house is how you embody that. It's your embodiment. It is the body. It's identity. Okay? Embodiments. I love how this channel came through, because I never channeled the first house the way that I did this time. And I want to say thank you, Newmoon and Sagittarius, for sharing that download with us all. And so we're going to move forward here. Did I do? Oh, wait. Let me get another card. Here, I only pulled the oracle cards. Let me get a tarot card here for the first house in Sagittarius. Well, that's a lot. Too many cards. Let me get one card here, please. All right, there we go. Oh, they gave two. Yeah, the Seven of Wands here. You see how she's over the influences that's trying to attack her, the doubts, the insecurities, the gossip, the betrayals, the energies that's not necessarily like honoring her true identity, her authenticity, and her soul's purpose here. She's overcoming that. She's like, get back. You don't know me like that. Woo, woo. I ain't playing around. One false move, I'll take you down. Right? That's ludicrous. I don't even know if I sang it the right way, but that's the way it was coming through. So, essentially, learning to, master your identity, or being open to changing your identity, even if it's from your own negative cognitions, and reconstructing the mind and fortifying your space. I look at this as a form of success, and again, the ego integration. And the reason I say I haven't channeled it in that way is because they're giving it to me as like an ego integration, as opposed to like just identifying with ego or just identifying with soul. And essentially everything is all interwoven and connected. But in that, with the first house, for it to be that expansion, it's this is really saying, I'm not gonna be trapped in the illusion of what you label me as. I'm gonna put me in the space of what I believe for myself. All right, y'all, we're going to move forward to Capricorn. Capricorn, this energy is happening in the 12th house. And if you were here in the beginning, you knew that I mentioned that because I was like, yo, homegirl needed to take a nap before doing these readings. And so that's why we here in the middle of the night, y'all. We here in the middle of the night doing these readings. All right, the new moon happened at 1:21 a.m. We're still in new moon energy, but it is past 1:21. I don't even know what time it is right now, but I know it is the witching hour. It is the time that the subconscious mind is really doing its thing, because the 12th house is your subconscious mind. It's also hospitals here. It's the it's magic, it's the deep depths. It's also how it is self-sabotage, and it's also dissolution. So again, some of you may be feeling really sleepy at this time, Capricorn. You may be feeling like you need to take some rest. Some of you may be feeling you know, especially if you're a Capricorn rising, there may be some self-sabotaging tendencies that Saturn is really asking you to take a look at. You may be feeling challenged too. And with the retrogrades, with Jupiter and Mercury retrograde, this is really asking you to take a look at what's in your mind. Yeah. On the positive side with this, because I feel you also got success there behind here. This could also be maybe doing like a hypnosis to bring you more into a successful place. This could also be like, if you haven't shifted your mindset into the realms of success, then there's a need. I would challenge you to write like 30 affirmations of success that you can repeat. Record yourself repeating it out loud. Write it yourself. And this is, by writing it, reading it, and listening to yourself, like play it back to yourself, which is why you're recording it, so you could play it back. You really start to integrate that into your subconscious mind. I do see a lot of success happening for you. For some of you, this could also be, maybe you are, you're really good at lucid dreaming, and you do a lot of healing work in the astral realm as well. So you may be doing a lot of healing astral work for success in the astral realm, or healing in the dream realm, in the astral realm, and whatnot. And that's, again, you working subconsciously in that space, which is why you're feeling really tired. Maybe you're, I'm wide awake and horny. Hey, I ain't mad at you. Me too. Me too. 17-second rule of manifestation. Oh, I don't know that. You're going to have to share that. So Capricorn, this is a lot of like subconscious, you connecting with your subconscious mind. This is also the house of hidden enemies. And so with the new moon here and the retrogrades, this could also even be a potential like mindfulness of the people that you keep around. There could be a potential revealing of a hidden enemy, someone you really trusted, that you thought was a really close friend or a loved one or something like that, but that was a low-key, like maybe hater or at secret competition or something. I'm not sure, but like, or that didn't really wish you well. You're gonna know by like how people treat you. Essentially, they tell on themselves. So that's one thing with the subconscious mind, right? Is like paying attention to body language, paying attention to what people are saying to you through symbolism, and not always with their vocal words. Somebody can tell you, I love you, but treat you like shit, treat you like crap, or ignore you, or not have any consideration for how they may be hurting you, but yet they say, I love you. And their actions is the subconscious messenger, right? Whereas their words are the conscious messenger. Essentially, they're consciously choosing to say one thing, but their actions are saying another. Right? And so paying attention to the subconscious messages that's around as well. Because again, this new moon in Sagittarius is conjoined Mercury in Sagittarius, and Mercury is in retrograde. So there could be some miscommunication going on here. And so again, being mindful of like self-sabotaging tendencies in this space, but also knowing how to break down distortion so that you tapped into source created, because the 12th house is also the house of spirituality. It's very spiritual. And with and Saturn in Pisces being, naturally the 12th house, in that this is talking about your spirituality. So you're gonna really have to, and the new moon in Sagittarius, this is really, really, really at 9 degrees. The 9th degree, again, if you were here from the beginning, I mentioned how the 9th degree is about being in tune with your spirituality or seeking spiritual connection and advice, as opposed to like the mundane physical stuff. So the dissolution or the distortion could be to dismantle the ego in this, and where it may feel like your ego might get hurt just a little bit, but essentially it's for your soul's awakening, to bring expansion from the spirit realm into the physical realm, in which the ego might feel a little bit intimidated or offended or, conflicted in this. But if you could overcome the challenge of feeling conflicted and challenged and stuff, and really allow the spiritual nature of your soul to ride you into the realms that's gonna be serving your highest and greatest good, you're gonna be removing and eliminating that which is not serving your highest and greatest good, but essentially creating a new beginning of love and success for you. So there's a lot of shift in perspective in your mind that was holding you back. Anything that was trying to belittle your mind, to create the delusion or distortion, you're overcoming that with great success here. I feel like it could be challenging for certain people, but overall it's going to be a beautiful experience. Yeah, you're coming into a new beginning here. And this is from Soul's Contracts here, all right? Because truth is being revealed to you. The truth is being revealed to you in this, okay? It's cutting out the distortion. It's cutting out the limitations that you have placed on your mind from being able to move forward. And it's allowing you to be in tune with your soul's contract here. And so some people call it ego death, right? And some people call it soul awakening, right? Whatever you want to call it. That is what this energy is going to bring, an expansion to your soul's evolution, your soul's growth, your soul's purpose. And the best advice I could give you is allow your ego to be the observer, the witnesser, and the experiencer of this experience, so that you can really be tapped into your magic. Essentially the 12th house is the house of the magi, right? So tapping into your magic, into your creativity in those subconscious realms, and activating any dormant abilities from your DNA, allowing yourself, some of y'all may get, like I mentioned, hypnosis, but some of y'all may even get like dreams or activations from past lives, and integrating that into this realm and stuff like that. This could also be like finding yourself to tap into certain consciousness and abilities that's accessible through the astral realm that maybe you felt maybe it was a weakness of yours or something like that, and you're like, I really want to tap into XYZ. And XYZ, I every time I'm inspired by this energy, and every time I see it, I just feel like, you know, I want to do that, or I can do that. And so you allow yourself the opportunity of accessing that as an energetic force that you can integrate with, right? It's possible for you, right? So you go into the realms of all possibility, and while it may seem like a form of delusion at first, you create it and allow it to be your reality by saying, I am not limited to just my experience right here, right now, but also there's going to be a strong revelation of what is not true. So any fabrications, any distortions, there's gonna bring a clarity to it, and it's gonna be hard on the ego if the ego is telling a false narrative. If it's telling a false narrative and you're in that shit, it's like a rude awakening, essentially. It's kind of what I'm seeing here. For some of you, this could also be like maybe you end up going to the hospital, or, you know, there's a psychological, I did mention the shadow side of this. It could be psychological issues. And we are moving forward to the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, this energy is happening in your 11th house. This is the house of collective consciousness, of your angels. This is the house of the environmental, of the collective, right? Essentially your friends as well, your peers. And so Aquarius, you're gonna be getting massive downloads. And let me just say this, right? Like Pluto has just entered into Aquarius again, and so this is gonna be major innovative energy for you. And so with the new moon in Sagittarius happening in the 9th house, the new moon in Sagittarius at 9 degrees, while your energy is at the 11th house. This is a lot of spiritual energies and connection and communication. So there could be a strong telepathy with this energy here. But this is also a lot of opportunities for you to collaborate and network with your peers. All right. I really like this energy for y'all, Aquarius. You know, on the shadow side, you may feel a little bit conflicted with some communication. If there hasn't been like shadow integration, but it's gonna happen fast. There's a lot of telepathy, a lot of opportunities, Aquarius, you have with this 11th house. The Magician in the bottom of the deck, in the bottom of the deck, the Magician. Right behind that was the Queen of Cups. She wanted to be seen here. So trusting in your intuition here. The Magician here has the ability to manifest what it is that you want to manifest. And so Aquarius, you know, I'm going to look at this like, you know, you might find yourself meeting your soul tribe. I feel like this is really putting you into connection with healthy, meaningful connections. This is giving you the opportunity to you know, whether it's network for business opportunities, whether it's network for community building, whether it's a lot of foundational building with others and in a soul contracted way, because the moon square in Saturn is like anyone that's not really part of your soul tribe can't come with you into this new space where you're going, Aquarius. Like, this is only space for your soul tribe. This is only space for your, you know, those that are really in the foundation of so connecting, building community, right? Honoring the earth's health, right? So this, I would even say, like, you could do a gathering to like clean up a park, or feed the homeless or something like that. You might find yourself wanting to do these things, or maybe like bringing getting donations for Christmas gifts, or coats for the homeless for the cold, or blankets, or stuff like that is something that maybe like you may be feeling really strongly called to do during this time, to help the community in this way. That's gonna bring you into communicating your soul's truth, authenticity, being wild and free. Hi, Steffi. Being wild and free and experiencing like joy and pleasure, and the potential of growth with your community. I really like this energy. Yep. And y'all got harmony here. Y'all got harmony with this energy and adventure. All right. This could be meeting new friends. Maybe, you meeting new people. You maybe, you just, this energy feels very, very beautiful and expansive. And I don't even want to put any limitations as to how this can manifest. And that's why the Magician is there. But, if you were thinking about going to a networking event, if you were thinking about, whether it's for career, or it's for your spirituality, or it's for, just what community building, this could be a community garden that you start up, or you connect with, or you go, just looking at the resources that's in your community. Either you're going to be innovative enough to create that for that your your community's foundation, or you participate and connect with others, and you see that, and yet y'all can join with each other to communicate, like through the meetings of the minds, and coming up with establishing resources and ideas for the collective. So Aquarius, that's really your energy. It's really simple, and I love it. Like, it was very straightforward. All right. And I'm so grateful and thankful for everything that y'all have to share with the collective as well. And we're going to move forward to Pisces. Pisces, this energy is happening in your 10th house. This is your house of career. This is your house of long-term contracts. This is the house of reputation. Okay. And so there could be major opportunities for money changes and growth. And when it comes down to your reputation, there may be certain, with the moon square Saturn and opposing Jupiter and conjoined Mercury, and Jupiter and Mercury being in retrograde, there may be, some gossip or competition or challenges when it comes down to your career, path, or like your business. But that's on the shadow side of it. On the positive side is, coming into soul contracts and opportunities that's actually divinely aligned with your soul's purpose, that's going to bring you to a space of prosperity, that's going to bring you to a space of making more money and opportunities. And so I really like this energy for you if you allow yourself to like really tap into this Sagittarius energy in the 9th degree in a way of like success and business. Yeah, y'all might have to like travel. You may have traveled outside of your comfort zone. You may have traveled out to a new place to make this stuff happen, to make these opportunities happen. There may be some hard news or information that that essentially made you feel like cold or something like that. Like I mentioned, there could have been some bad news or gossip or something in your rounds, with you communicating. But there's a lot of opportunity here for growth and like bringing things into a proper foundation here for you to bring balance back into your life, and essentially allowing yourself to find happiness into the spaces where your reputation it's not just about ego. It's like your soul and everything like that coming into this space of like, when you are honoring your soul's calling and your truth, your reputation is that of integrity and authenticity. Like, yo, I know that girl to be her true self, even if nobody likes her, or regardless of why, she's true to herself, or he's true to himself. That's the reputation that you have. Or if you are a person that, like, you a shady person, and that's the reputation that you have, that's the communication that's gonna go around in the business field. And like, you know, it might feel like a bunch of cutthroat people, you cutting you off and stuff like that. Why? Because your reputation is that of a shady person. But if you're a person with like integrity and stuff, you know, there's gonna be communication that's gonna lead you to like, yeah, this may be hard news in this area, but so many good opportunities come for you in this space because your reputation is that of integrity, and people want to work with you more, right? So they're gonna see you more. Regardless of what, this is, you know, you taking the time to put in more energy and time into your workspace and in your reputation, energy and your long-term contracts here. So let's get, you know, there may be some healing that may have occurred in regards to any like karmic contracts or so contracts. There may have been some stress here as well. Let me get a card here for Pisces in the 10th house. Oh my gosh, that's a whole pile fell down. One card, please. Oh my gosh. Pisces energy. Letting go in the bottom of the deck here. There may have been some comparison here, some burdens, a need for you to slow down. When it comes down to politics here, there may be a need to slow down with how you politicking with others and whatnot. If there's like any manipulation or mental stuff going on here. But essentially, by you letting go, there's a lot of celebration as well that's coming through here. So not rushing your process, making sure that like the slowing down is essentially so that you could come to a space of celebration, and not rushing the process of what it is that you are moving forward to here, and trusting that you are in the realms of many possibilities when it comes down to your career. Some of you Pisces are having a full career shift. Some of you Pisces are gaining new potential offers when it comes down to your career and work and stuff, or you could have multiple streams of income. Essentially, this is going into a space of trusting any delays happening here is actually happening for your higher good, like not to rush the process here and take your time in whatever information and travels, like even if it's hard news, knowing that like you are essentially going into new realms that's to be celebrated here. All right. If you get like quote unquote bad news, I feel like this isn't necessarily a no. It may be maybe the people that you're surrounded is not like that, or it's a not right now, or there's certain things that you need to let go that cannot come with you into the next round. And so once you clear that out, you're gonna get more of a green. But also it's slowing down, not rushing the process. You might be starting a new career or making major changes in your career, and you don't want to rush that process because you want this to be something of sustainability, of longevity, that is gonna be reflective to your ability to build foundation with integrity and your reputation. All right. So Pisces, that is your reading. I thank you all for tapping in and allowing me to be the divine messenger that is serving your highest and greatest good, and that any and all messages that is not honoring your highest and greatest good be clearly removed from your path, and just aligning you with the clarity and the direction in which honors your soul's highest and greatest good and alignment. That is my desire. That is my command to the universe for the highest and greatest good of all involved. I thank you all for existing, and may you all have a happy new day, a happy new moon, and a happy good night. All right, y'all. Bye.